I want to send a special thank you to all my new subscribers. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do so and hit that bell so that way you receive notifications when I upload videos. Okay, so I'm about to get into some things between Choke No Joke and Dame Dash. I'm not sure if you guys are keeping up with what's happening, but this is about to get a little bit messy, so I had to get me some wine for this. I normally don't drink, but like I said, this is messy, y'all. So if you're not familiar with Choke No Joke used to work underneath Dame Dash years ago at Rockefeller. He was there for about 2 to 3 years. He was basically like their camera guy slash an editor. He basically edited all their footage. And so he was there prior to Jay-Z and Dame Dash splitting. So he has a lot of inside information between Jay-Z and Dame Dash. Now, everything I'm going to say in this video is alleged because unless you have hardcore proof, everything is alleged. So this is where it started. So apparently Dame Dash did an interview with Adam 22 from The Jumper Show. And while at that interview, he basically was saying that Choke No Joke was a punching bag. Okay. And so, hold on, guys. I gotta do something. So he was basically saying that Choke No Joke was a punching bag. Basically saying this guy gets beat up all the time, right? He called him a runner. He was basically saying that Choke No Joke talks a big game, but he likes to run from fights. Now, if y'all don't know, I guess apparently from the information that I have, there was an event that Jay-Z was at. I'm not sure if it was a concert or what type of event it was, but Dame Dash told Choke No Joke to attend that event and to film it. And Jay-Z caught him filming, and he didn't know who he was at the time, or he claimed he didn't know who he was. And so he told the guys that it was with, I guess, his bodyguards or whoever it was with, to take the camera. So Dame Dash and Choke No Joke got jumped by 6 guys, apparently. And they tried to take the camera. I guess they were not successful at that. Now, there's a big argument about whose camera this is. Dame Dash says it's his camera. Choke No Joke says it's his camera. I'm not sure why it's a big issue, but apparently it is. And so Choke No Joke got upset about this interview that Dame Dash did and decided to do a live stream where he completely tore Dame Dash to shreds. Okay, so I'm going to go over a little bit of what he shared. The first thing he shared was he was basically talking about they all decided to go on a vacation to Africa, and he felt it was a little bit disrespectful of Dame Dash. You're in your motherland, and instead of you learning about your own country, you're out there chasing white women. And so he felt like that was a slap in the face, and he called Dame Dash basically a culture vulture, basically imitating white culture. So he talked about him having a fake tooth. I guess apparently Dame Dash got into a fight years ago and he got one of his teeth knocked out, and I don't know why that's a big deal, so we're going to pass over that. So now this one is pretty interesting. He says that he said that his current Dame Dash current fiance prays to Aaliyah. Now that's crazy. I don't know why your current fiance would be praying to your previous fiance who passed away, unless she was trying to conjure up her spirit. I don't know, that's a little bit off the rocks for me, but I thought that was pretty interesting that he would bring that up. Now, he talked about how Dame Dash stole Aaliyah from Jay-Z. We all knew about that. That wasn't anything new. He also talked about how Dame Dash had cheated on Aaliyah with Rachel Roy. And she got pregnant with her first child. Now, it was her first child, but it was not his first child. Now, I do remember rumors about that coming out years ago. People were saying that Aaliyah was stressed out because he kept cheating on her, and he did get a female pregnant. I guess that was Rachel. So, interesting. But he went on to say how Dame Dash doesn't date black women. And apparently the mother of his first child, she had him checked so bad, I guess he was scared of her. And so after that, he's never dated a black woman since. So he said that the only reason why he dated Aaliyah was because she reminded him of a white girl. All right, y'all. I don't know. Maybe she talked proper. I don't know. But yeah, interesting. Then he went on to talk about how he was blocking people's career. He blocked the career of a young Chris. Now, I think I know who he's talking about, but I don't want to speculate. So I'm going to dig a little bit further and see if I can find out some information on just to confirm who he was talking about on that one. But he then goes on to talk about how Dame Dash wanted to become a professional boxer, but he wasn't able to pass the blood test because he had an STD. Now, that's not by surprise, because we know that a lot of these celebrities have women at their beck and call. And if you're laying down with multiple women, hundreds of women, depending on how long you are in the industry, you don't know what you're gonna wake up with. So, a lot of them are not very careful with these women. They're just ripping and running in the streets. So I wasn't surprised to hear about that. What I was surprised to hear about was the fact that there was an alleged rape down in Brazil. Now, I'm gonna get into this information that he shared because, like I said, I didn't know about it. But apparently there's this female, her name is Kirsty Thompson. And Kirsty is basically a model. She worked at a top fashion house down in Manhattan in New York. And she did a lot of gigs, and the majority of the gigs that she did was for Naomi Campbell. Now, this assault happened down in Brazil. It was an island down there. She was only there for the purpose to work for Naomi Campbell at the time of this alleged rape. And so while they were there, it was New Year's Eve. It was 2002 going into 2003. Okay, so her and one of her friends decided that they wanted to attend a party. It was a New Year's Eve party that was thrown by New York millionaire Mario, what is his name? Mario Gennaro. And while she was there, she was drinking a lot. She had about 8 glasses of champagne, and she took about a half tablet of ecstasy. So she recalled that during that party, she claimed that Dame Dash verbally and sexually harassed her. She said that he asked her 3 different times, quote unquote, "Will you have sex with me?" To which she replied, "No." And then he replied to her, quote unquote, "Everyone has sex with me." So she, I guess at some point, got tired of it. She decided to leave. She went back to her hotel where she fell asleep. During some point after that, her friend comes back to the hotel and she brings Dame Dash and some of his partners from Rockefeller. And she overheard her friend telling Dame Dash and his crew that, quote unquote, she hasn't had much sex. Now, she was referring to Kirsty. Now, I hope I'm saying her name right because that's how it's spelled. But she was referring to Kirsty. And she said the next thing she remembers was that Dame Dash was on top of her. Now, she said she remembered that it was 8:30 in the morning and this whole encounter happened between 10 to 15 seconds. Now, she said she screamed out for a friend, but no one came in. And then she passed out again and woke up around 1:30 p.m. where she realized that something was wrong, and she filed a police report, and then she went to the hospital so that way they could do a rape kit. Now, I looked at that and I said, okay, she felt like it was between 10 to 15 seconds. But if you're on some type of drugs and you're drinking a lot, you're going in and out of stages of consciousness, how do you know that this really happened for only 10 to 15 seconds? She could have passed out after that 15-second mark, and he just had his way with her for the entire time, no telling how long that could have been. Now, I'm not saying this happened. Like I said, this is all alleged. But apparently, she ended up going back to the States, and she filed a $15 million lawsuit in a Manhattan Supreme Court. And the only reason why they're saying that Dame Dash was not arrested for it was because, for one, it took forever to get the results of the rape kit. I guess the timing for the rape kit was excessive, and then two, it didn't happen on U.S. soil. It happened in Brazil, and so that's the reasons why they're claiming that he got away with it, pretty much. But she did file compensation. She filed for compensation for punitive damages, pain and suffering, and mental damages. And I can only imagine how that would make somebody feel, where this person is basically a celebrity. He's on TV all the time. You see him, on social media, and this guy allegedly had his way with you, and he was not held accountable. So, this girl probably went into some type of hiding. I don't know, but I wasn't able to find any type of information other than that on her. But it was a lot of stuff that Choke No Joke shared about Dame Dash, and there was stuff that he wanted to share regarding Dame Dash and Aaliyah, but he didn't want to tarnish Aaliyah's image. So, I feel like, why poke the bear, Dame Dash? Because if this guy was with you guys 24/7, he knows all of your dirt. He knows everything that, you've done throughout the entire time you were with him. Now, he did throw out the fact that there was a lady named Claudine, and I guess apparently she worked for Naomi Campbell, and she was the one who walked in during the alleged rape. And so she saw Dame Dash raping Kirsty. Now, they said that she did do a witness statement, but I guess, with the whole case falling apart, with the timing of the rape kit and it happening in a whole totally different country, it didn't go anywhere. But if somebody actually was there and saw you, raping somebody, then it's hard to refute that. But again, like I said, it's alleged. But like I said, why poke the bear? If this guy has a lot of info on you, why poke the bear? And so he was talking about how Memphis Bleek, there was some things that Memphis Bleek didn't really believe about some of the stuff that he was saying. But I guess Memphis Bleek was saying that Dame Dash had changed his life, and there wasn't anything that he would not be willing to do for Dame Dash. He was saying that he basically would ride for him, he would kill for him, he would die for him. And then Choke No Joke starts going into, talking to young kids about, going out there and killing people for somebody else. Like, don't put yourself in that type of predicament, because you're going to be the one who's going to do time. And so I thought it was interesting that he would mention that at the same time that he's talking about the situation between him and Dame Dash, and Memphis Bleek being in the middle, or feeling like he's in the middle. So I don't know if he suspects that somebody in Dame Dash's camp would be willing to do something to him. But I feel like if you're putting people's secrets out there, you're putting personal information out there, you know, you're opening yourself up to all kinds of retaliation. So I hope that he is aware of that. And if he feels like it's worth it, then, you know, who am I to judge? Who are you to judge? Who is anybody else to judge? And maybe there's some things that he just needs to get off his chest. Maybe there's some things that he needs to clear up. And, you know, nobody can judge him for that. So, yeah. So this is all the information that he put out there. I was going to include some of the live, and I think I probably will, so that way you guys can hear it for yourself. But the interview that Dame Dash did, I don't want to get any copyright strikes, so I don't think I'm going to include that. But yeah, it was pretty interesting, a lot of the stuff that he shared, and I don't even think he's done. So I'm going to keep watching to see if he drops any more info about Dame Dash. Jay-Z, he's been ripping Jay-Z to shreds too. So I mean, this guy, he's got it out for them. And you know, I hope that he knows that, you know, some of this stuff can come with consequences. So I hope he's careful. But I'm gonna leave it here, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.